Hello! Greetings from wherever you are. We are here at Portugal for round 13 of the 1994 Formula One World Championship. I am Nick Holiday, and I am joined by my co-commentator, Matthew Sibiani. Here's our starting grid for today's race. Berger's on pole on the first row, alongside Ayrton Senna for Williams. In the second row, it's Michael Schumacher for Benetton, with John Lacey alongside of him. Third row features Damon Hill and Mika Häkkinen for McLaren. And the next row, it's Martin Brundle with Jos Verstappen alongside him. Next row, Eddie Irvine for Jordan, with Heinz-Harald Frentzen for Sauber. While the next row has Andrea De Cesaris and Rubens Barrichello. Alessandro Zanardi for Lotus lines up this row, along with Johnny Herbert of Lotus. Ukyo Katayama for Taro, alongside his teammate Mark Blundell. Olivier Panis lines up alongside Gianni Morbidelli for Footwork, with Christian Fittipaldi for Footwork beside on the next row with Olivier Brietta and Ligier. Eric Camas lines up for LaRousse, alongside Michele Alboreto for Minardi. Pierluigi Martini lines up alongside with Bertrand Gachot, with Paul Belmondo running out the last spot on the grid. After the last car pulls up on the grid, we await the 5 lights for this what will be a great race. 3, 4, 2, pause, go! Gerhard Berger gets a great start away from Michael Schumacher and the rest of the field. As you see the rest of the field pulling into the first turn.
Looks like
Berger has a
they're all by cleanly. No troubles. And Senna, it looks like he's had a terrible start. He's very slow off the line at second place. He'll have to do a lot of work to gain those positions back. Häkkinen has had a brilliant start, and Schumacher is already after Gerhard Berger for first place.
Ooh, you see the grid all jumbled up back there, but they make it through cleanly. Meanwhile, Schumacher has caught up to Berger a little bit. It's all over the back of him at this point in time as we go through this slow swooping hairpin-like corner. And now we've got on board with Schumacher as he continues his chase with Berger onto the front stretch. But the Ferrari with its V12 power should beat him down the straight.
Yeah, Ferrari have made substantial upgrades to their car over the course of the season with their new, I believe, 312 T1B model, which is significantly faster as soon as they introduced it to the racetrack. I expect John Alesi to maybe make light work of the McLaren as soon as Ayrton gets by, and it looks like he's going for his move on the inside, and it's clean. The McLaren Peugeot not being as fast as it was when Senna was still at the team. Lacey getting a bit on the grass there, but getting by very easily. There's Damon Hill and Verstappen trailing behind him. Verstappen looks to be making a move, and he's up the inside as well. So there's a lot of early position shifting, a lot of drivers kind of feeling each other out, seeing what they can gain early on before the race settles down a bit.
It's true. As we see the rest of the grid going into this corner. From what we see, Berger still is in the lead at this point in time.
And Schumacher,
not by much.
Looking like he's biding his time. Doesn't look like he's going to push early on.
Letting him know he's there.
With the fastest lap, he is certainly making his case known. 128.185.
Yeah, Michael surely fast at this point in time. As we see one of the McLarens going to have to do one of the Benettons. Yeah, looks like
Martin Brundle seemingly looking for a way around Verstappen. Verstappen not as quick as his German compatriot in the Benetton Ford B194. Looks like Senna is slowly making progress towards Schumacher, who is still stalking Berger. Berger is looking quite solid. He took pole very commandingly. I think there was about a 0.5 of a second in qualifying to the next car. So Berger is in good form today, and we might see a victory from the Austrian if he can keep the car on track.
Yeah, that track that is full of long straights. I would expect the V12 engine to provide a pretty good, well, yeah, it'd be good. Well, you see Ayrton Senna, he just posted the fastest lap of the race. So
Brazilian is pushing what was initially a very difficult car in the early season to handle, most notably at San Marino, where he crashed out of Tamburello and thankfully survived, but that crash spurred on a lot of safety changes that they made throughout the calendar. But we are lucky he is still with us. The Simtech team is not present at Estoril today. I believe they have run into financial troubles, and Roland Ratzenberger has moved into the DTM in the meantime. But we are grateful to still have Senna still with us for this Portuguese Grand Prix, as all the cars trail down the hill. There is Verstappen still fending off Brundle, followed by the Sauber of Heinz-Harald Frentzen, the Lotuses, the Jordans battling, the Ligiers, Tyrrell, Footwork.
and as we come back onto this straight, we see the gap at front still relatively the same, but you see Senna in the back for sure catching these front two, and this could evolve into a 3-car battle. But even though Lacey, he's posting fast laps too, so I think at this point everyone has found what they can and what they cannot do, and we're gonna see how this front battle turns out over time.
Yeah, Lacey now getting comfortable, wanting to make use of his V12 Ferrari engine and catch up. It might turn into a 4-car battle.
Michael, he has to go for this win. Obviously, he was in some hot water at Spa a few rounds ago, and he wasn't there for Italy. So he has, even though he's still in the points at this point in time, he really needs this win to just gain for all the points he lost in those 2 rounds that he really didn't get anything for, or he wasn't there. And while Hill isn't exactly close to him at this point in time, he still needs the buffer, of course. So he needs to get a really good result for this race. And with second place right now, that's good. That's good, ahead of Hill. But he will obviously be looking for the gold at the top step of the podium. As we see Lacey, he is at the fastest lap of this race.
Lacey is getting faster and faster. This is the second fastest lap of the race in a row, so I do expect something very soon from the 4 of them, the 2 Ferraris, 1 Benetton and 1 Williams. I think Damon Hill is confidently holding the 5th position away from the McLaren of what I thought would be, if the television cameras would show us at some point, Hakkinen. But it could be Brundle at the very same time. I think Brundle is still embroiled in that battle against Jos Verstappen further down the order for the last points-paying position. But we'll find out later on. Anything can happen, and that is from the nature of Formula 1, that anything can happen.
Anything can happen, indeed. Anything can happen, indeed. You know, our friend Katayama, he could easily win this race. But regardless, as we see, Hill all over the back of Hakkinen there. And I mean really on the back of him. And as we mentioned, Hill is in second place and about 10 points behind. So he himself is also looking for a good result in 6 places. Well, it's obviously far from that. So he's hoping to get past Hakkinen here really quickly, so that he can continue his chase to the front. He looks to the inside here of Hakkinen to turn 1. Side by side here. Does he get it clear? Yes, he does. So he got the 5th there. That will be 2 points, but still far from what he's looking for.
That was a textbook pass by Damon Hill, very clean. Hakkinen couldn't do anything about it unless he wanted to turn into him. I noticed that Jos Verstappen is starting to gain some ground on Martin Brundle, so that's a developing situation. Jos Verstappen hasn't been the luckiest of guys in Grand Prix racing this year, not gelling with the Benetton Ford as well as Michael Schumacher has, that I'd like to stress again. Michael Schumacher's really coming into his own as a young racing driver since his debut with Jordan in 1991, and then his 2 years so far with Benetton, 1992 and 1993. I believe he is the last race-winning car to have a manual transmission in 1993, so he's definitely a very talented young German driver.
Talented indeed. And he is currently showing that against the more veteran drivers of Berger and Senna at this point in time. Still, the lead seems to be at the same gap as it was, but we see Ayrton Senna closing in pretty rapidly. So I will expect him to be up here very, very shortly. And once that happens, we are in for a spicy, spicy battle. But as things stand right now, it is as it is. And Berger continues to lead.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to my ears, I do hear some nearby traffic coming up for Gerhard Berger. So depending on how well he can navigate that traffic, he'll either maintain his lead and even extend it, or Schumacher will capitalize. There's Hill in front of Hakkinen. There's Verstappen in front of Brundle. Heinz-Harald Frentzen, I believe, being chased by what looks like Barrichello. That's Zanardi, De Cesaris, Johnny Herbert, Irvine, Christian Fittipaldi, Olivier Panis, and they're all coming down the order. Alesi setting another fastest lap. He is definitely on it.
Yeah, Lacey, in his so far pretty short career, he's shown how fast he can be. I remember his drive at the 1990, sorry, U.S. Grand Prix. He was leading for a really long time, and Ferrari noticed that they picked him up. 91 wasn't exactly, it was a good start, but could have been better than 92. We forget about 92. And 93 was an improvement. And 94, as it stands right now, he's fourth in standings, 19 points. So yeah, it's been a good season for him. Still a little bit off his teammate Berger as we ride alongside Ayrton Senna now as he continues his chase for the top 2.
Well, Alesi hasn't exactly been given the best of tools to fight for a championship. Frankly speaking, Ferrari have been throughout 92 and 93 building, without any other substitute for words, shit cars. So.
Oh, anyway, Schumacher continues his battle to fight Berger, but Senna has set yet another fastest lap. So, yeah, as I was saying earlier, Senna most certainly will be up here very shortly, but if it's to, we'll be seeing if he'll be fighting. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, will he be fighting for second or will he be fighting for first? Because who knows? Maybe Berger will pull away from Schumi here, but we're not too sure. And that's what we're going to be waiting to see how this battle turns out.
Schumacher stalking Berger down, but Berger, with his age and experience, maintains an ice-cold demeanor. His lines look clean, not making any mistakes, despite the nose-to-tail from Schumacher. And Schumacher isn't the kindest of individuals on the track when it comes to attacking and defending, so this should get interesting how he will treat the veteran Austrian compatriot of his.
Yes, indeed, and we see the gap between Senna and Schumi is definitely coming down a lot here. So, this battle between Berger and Michael here, it's definitely slowing both of them up here. And Senna, I guess, is just way faster. So, yeah. So if Michael cannot get this move done soon, and I don't think he will, to be bluntly honest here, Senna will make things certainly more troublesome for Michael here.
Yeah, the last time I can remember Senna and Schumacher together was Magny-Cours 1992, and that almost ended in fisticuffs.
And as we come back, we see we're going down the grid here, just checking out what's happening in the midfield. I believe we are on Alessandro Zanardi. Replaced the injured Pedro Lamy, and after he has his very, very terrifying crash at Silverstone. Continuing going to the list, I think we're on Olivier Panis here. Currently 11th in points, if I'm not mistaken, with 8 points after his pretty surprising podium in Germany. No one was expecting that. And we go to our bat markers: Pacific, Minardi, LaRousse.
Panis looking a bit slow. Even though the Leisure isn't quite the quickest car on the grid, I would expect him to be kind of closer to the Lotuses. As now Ayrton Senna is very ominously close to Schumacher, who is being ominously followed by Alesi, and it's only a matter of time before these four run into traffic, and that's when the fun will begin.
Oh yes, that is when the fun will begin. And that is that will be definitely the determining factor on who will be leading very, very shortly, because the gap between Berger and Schumacher has stood the same for the most part in these few laps that we've run. So at this point, I guess Michael will have to resort to just waiting, biding his time, of course, and just hoping that lap traffic will be in his favor.
I think Michael knows exactly what he's doing here and not trying to take that lead early, because for the reasons you've just explained perfectly, there is no reason this early on in the Grand Prix to be making moves so hastily. Although Jean Alesi now putting a second on Senna's fastest lap with the 126. That's the first car to break the 126 barrier during the race.
Yep, Alesi is just flying right now. It looks like they have gotten that car sorted out to Alesi's preference here. And we are riding alongside with Berger now, as he has a clear track ahead of him for the time being. And he has held his own ground throughout these last few laps. He's meshed the gap between Schumacher perfectly. So he'll himself will be hoping that lap traffic will be in his favor so that he can get through easily, and hope that the lap traffic will hold Michael up so that he can extend his lead even further.
Berger's tyres are looking pretty worn, so we can expect a pit stop very shortly after the commotion. I'm guessing Berger hopes that they'll all need to pit at some point before they hit lap traffic, and so that when he comes back out of the pits, it'll be amongst the kind of mess, and hopefully he'll expect Schumacher and Senna to have issues getting by on possibly an undercut. But we'll see what kind of strategies they attempt to adopt. Schumacher is really, really right there. Less than half a second nose to tail. There's Hill, and there is Mika Hakkinen doing well. And Martin Brundle has gotten past Jos Verstappen, so Jos Verstappen must have made a mistake, because he was leading him quite comfortably earlier and is now given up that position. So that'll be points lost for Benetton unless he can recover. But we know Jos Verstappen is an unlucky individual. And there is the first lapped traffic of the evening. Looks like one of the Pacific Ilmores.
So Berger will hope to have navigate through this Pacific very quickly. The Pacific far from a fast car, not even in its thoughts. So yeah, he'll be hoping to catch him at the right moment, and looks like he'll have some trouble getting him through here. This long sweeping right. Yeah, he's definitely been held up there, and there goes Michael. He's all over the back of Berger now.
And Michael begins his attack. Look at that. He's having a look. He's letting Berger know that time for waiting is over, and Senna got by the lap traffic quite quickly, and I think he knows that Schumacher knows that it's time to go after Berger.
Yes, it is. Now we have really reached the point we were waiting for. And yeah, Berger had some trouble lapping that Pacific, and that just allowed Michael to close up all on him. And yeah, that's allowed even Senna to close up even more too. So we are definitely we have a fight on our hands very, very soon. As you see Berger, the top three have now come up to 2 more lapped cars here. So at the current part of the track that they are at, this is not going to be easy to overtake these lapped cars. As we'll be right back on board with Michael.
And Senna watching this all develop right before his eyes. The Minardi in Berger's way. Berger will be shaking his fist in the air if he can't get by soon enough, and that is what is going to probably happen, as the Minardi makes no effort to let Berger by. And Schumacher is going to be licking his lips for a chance here. He stays in the toe of the Minardi to get a bit less drag, excuse me, but it doesn't seem like he had the strike zone. Although Berger did not pass the Pacific before the first corner. He's doing it now. It's looking clean. Berger is keeping his nose clean. He's definitely not taking too many unnecessary risks, and Schumacher making a very risky move there to stay with Berger.
Yeah, Berger's not exactly navigating this lap traffic perfectly, but he's gotten away with it very good for the time being, as opposed to Senna, who has most definitely lost the time. But we see Schumacher has a run here on Berger through this corner, down the straight, into the corner where they go, and Schumacher has taken the lead. Wow, I did not see that coming.
And there's Senna. That's all. And Lacey's coming. You can see him in the background, and that's Berger with the switchback. Oh. And Senna takes the inside line. This is great racing, and there's Lacey. Lacey has appeared from practically nowhere to start racing and enjoy this chaos. So now Senna has stolen second place away from Schumacher. That is some masterful driving from Senna.
I might have lost the words of what just happened there, but there's Damon Hill. He's managed to get his way up here too. They just sold up so much, and now all the top five, they're all by each other. They're just packed up, and becoming this straight, they're all just lined up in this queue. There's a Lacey making a move on Schumacher, but Hill, who wants to make a move too? That's three abreast, and I don't even. Lacey, he's gonna come out in third there, and I'm just at a loss of words.
They all waited, but look at the gap that Berger has now pulled. 4 seconds amidst that chaos. They all tried to pull the trigger on each other, and that has made for some quality Grand Prix racing. We have the Williams now nearly holding second and third for podium position. Hopefully Damon Hill can find more time. Berger must be very happy with how those events transpired. He almost lost his lead to Schumacher, who has definitely not happy with how things have gone there. Must be trying to drive that Benetton in anger, and he will not be happy to be behind Damon Hill, who is his championship rival at this very point in time, and expect some moves going down that long back straight.
Most definitely, and it's not just the World Drivers' Championship that Benetton has to worry about. They have to worry about the constructors. At this point in time, Benetton, they have a 12-point lead over Williams, but with Williams having both of their cars currently in the points and Schumacher only in 5th place, the gap in the Constructors' Championship can easily go down too, and in the long grand scheme of things, the World Constructors' Championship is a lot more valuable than a World Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, that's where the money is paid for the teams to build better cars next year, and it doesn't look like Benetton is going to have a better car next year if they keep this up. There's only 3 rounds to go in this 16-round long campaign, and Ferrari, who have been quite mediocre at points this year, although better than previous years, will be very happy to get these kind of points and possibly turn some tide in the Constructors' Championship, as the Minardi is certainly killing time for Berger, and Berger is looking for a way around, and it's not happening, and Berger is probably calling that guy a bleeding idiot.
Yeah, Berger continued to have some mixed success with the lap cars here, and that most definitely did not help his lead. He lost 2 seconds there as he now finally gets past the Minardi, but the damage is done, and now Senna is just over 2 seconds behind Berger now. He just set the fastest lap as well, so yeah, Berger definitely not thinking that Minardi at the moment. But as the Minardi now holds up Senna, he might be thinking just a little bit.
And this will be the critical moment for Senna. If he can continue putting down 126s and catch Berger and potentially go for the win, could come down to the wire between the old McLaren teammates who have moved on from their illustrious early 90s success.
Yep, and now we see third, fourth, and fifth having to deal with this minority, and Michael looking to take it to his own advantage. They banged wheels there, and looks like they both failed to get past the minority there, but Michael manages to get past Damon Hill there, so that is certainly damage control for the time being, as Michael Schumacher gets past Damon Hill once more.
Mika Hakkinen not far away in the picture of your television screen there. Looks like all this lap traffic trouble is giving him an opportunity to catch up, and looks like the cameraman heard us because he is now focusing on Mika Hakkinen. There is Schumacher off in the distance getting by more lap traffic. Hill losing ground to his championship rival. Mika Hakkinen very, very quickly closing up due to the Minardi, but he can lose as much time as he just gained if he doesn't get by the Minardi cleanly. There's Jos Verstappen seriously losing time to Martin Brundle due to the Pacific and the Minardi. And Alesi must be delighted for the situation that he's currently in, and Ferrari in general, especially John Todd, seeing both his Ferraris first and third currently, and maybe Alesi, with the pace he is going, could potentially see if he can find a way around Senna, but no one passes Senna without doing two things, either crashing or almost crashing.
That is most definitely true. I can think of a few times where that has happened with Senna. Let's hope he doesn't resort to those tactics today. But he's been clean throughout this race and still catching Berger despite the troublesome with the lapped cars. So, yep. Berger, however, has a clean track for the time being.
Looks like Berger is planning his first pit stop of the evening, followed by Senna and Alesi and the Benetton of Schumacher, who have not yet signaled to pit, and Schumacher trying to make up for lost time with the fastest lap of the race, 1:26.5, which beats Senna's fastest lap by about a tenth.
Flying, and now that Berger has signaled him for his pit stop, this is gonna start most certainly a chain reaction here, and this is gonna be a key part in this race. Pit strategy always being a key part, and if Berger obviously hoping to, I guess, undercut the whole field here. It seems, hoping that the others get stuck in some lap traffic or trip over each other in the pits. But as we see right now, Senna has really caught up to Berger on his final lap here before he goes into the pits. So that won't really help Berger, but maybe when those others decide to pit, it will be hold up. As Berger now comes to the pits, let's go down to our friend Dom in the pits. Dom, what you got for us?
So, hello guys. So I've been near the Benetton pit lane for the past 5 to 10 laps, and there's been a lot of commotion after the loss of Michael Schumacher's lead. The championship leader was attacking Berger for first, and then suddenly drove 4 places. You would think it's a cosmic concern, and it looked like from the facial expression of Briatore that it would be such. But it seems like no issues, and Schumacher continues to hold the leaders.
Well, thank you, Dom. Yeah, that seemed to be a pretty good stop for Berger there. So now we got report that Senna is going to be coming in, and I think the rest of this group might follow him as well. So this will be the true deciding factor in terms of this round of pit stops here. So Senna leading after that for the time being, but not for long, perhaps.
It's going to be absolutely critical for the pit stop crews to quickly get those tires on, off, then on, and get the jacks down and refuel the car for the rest of the distance. Looks like they've all adopted similar strategies. And now Senna dives into the pits. We'll bring it back to our pit lane reporter, Dom Wings.
Total chaos in the pits, as you can see right now. All the front runners are pitting. I see both Williams, Benetton, that's Michael Schumacher, Mika Häkkinen and McLaren, and I believe the Ferrari is Charles Lazy. I don't think there has been any change in position necessarily, so Gerhard Berger still leads, but as we see Jos Verstappen coming into the thick of this front-running battle in his Benetton, is ahead of Schumacher right now as it stands. So Verstappen is not pit, but this is shaping out to be a very exciting race.
Yeah, so that was a really good stop from Senna there, and that's got him really. Berger was just got ahead of Senna there.
Verstappen seems to be taking a secondary role in the Benetton team at this race. He could hold up hill and give Schumacher a chance to pass by before he goes in for a stop. He did 2 laps longer on the stint, I guess, to make room for Schumacher's strategy first. While the order... Oh, and it seems we've had a retirement. It is Eddie Irvine out with what looks to be a mechanical failure just before his first stop of the evening. And the safety car is out. What's that? What's happened?
Oh dear, I wonder. Oh, that will be it. I think that is a leash year off, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like they're out of the... Whoa, that's a Benetton out! Whoa! Oh, who is that? I think that's Verstappen. I think he might be out. We got a replay. And whoa! Whoa! I'm not too sure what happened with Verstappen there. His car just completely darted to the right, and car just hit the wall and just completely busted up there. So that is why our safety car is out, because we got 2 dead cars on the track there.
That, to me, that seemed like some sort of suspension or a steering column failure, and Verstappen was very lucky that the Armco barrier was quite close. Whatever happened, whatever broke, so it could easily absorbed the impact without him gaining too much speed. And there's another car off on the apex of that hairpin.
Looks like that's one of the footworks there.
Looks like Morbidelli, and that is Paul Belmondo pulling off. Looks like his car is done for the night, and that's a terrible boneheaded mistake from Morbidelli, spinning into the wall.
Oh goodness, I wouldn't want to be at that footwork, Raj. Well, lots of chaos here at Portugal. Let's take a break for now, and we'll see you after the break.
Mountain-grown beans give Maxwell House its great mountain-grown taste.
Fancy a burger?
No way.
Fancy fish and chips?
I don't.
Fancy a pizza? Fancy a change?
Yeah.
Try a KFC variety meal. 2 pieces of original recipe chicken, 2 hot wings, regular fries, and a regular Pepsi, all for only $2.99. The variety meal at KFC, where great value never tasted so good.
Welcome back here at Portugal. We are still under safety car at this point in time for various incidents across the racetrack, but all you need to know is that Gerhard Berger is still leading after pit stops ahead of Ayrton Senna, John Lacey, and Schumacher.
The Ferraris have a buffer zone of that LaRousse under the safety car as they get ready to get restarted. See if Senna makes any early moves on Berger. We know him for his great starts.
We are back on the green here. Looks like a solid start from the Ferrari here, a Berger. In the back, Schumacher instantly gets past the LaRousse there. Damon Hill unable to, however, and Hakkinen struggled a little bit with that LaRousse, but he managed to get past two as Hill now gets past the LaRousse, but he's definitely lost a lot of time from that. As we see just in the background, Hakkinen was just able to get past the LaRousse there. So as things stand right now, we're back to how we were at the start, really. Senna about half a second off of Berger at this point in time, but as we saw in the first stint, things got dicey pretty quickly. So let's just see how this evolves over the next couple of laps.
I expect aggressive driving from Schumacher and Senna to try and deal with those Ferraris. There are not many laps to go in this Grand Prix, so there needs to be some sort of move from Senna if he wants the race win. And I honestly think it looks like my prediction is coming true, where it'll come down to the wire between the two former McLaren compatriots.
Yep, Senna and Berger, obviously, they were teammates at McLaren for some few years. They got along pretty well, but now they're at different teams. On the racetrack, it's definitely way more different, and Senna gonna make up for points that he's lost in some races he's missed from, obviously, his crash at Imola. We're glad to have him back on the track, but he has to make up points soon. And currently is second, so this will put him ahead of some of the people in points. Obviously, this is Ayrton Senna. He's not going to settle for second. He wants to go for the top step on the podium, and I can't blame him.
It seems like at the moment he's just looking for a mistake, an opening to get by. But Berger is looking very, very confident in that Ferrari, and it's certainly got pull on even the short straights. Schumacher's still seemingly looking for a way around Alesi, and McLaren's likely holding formation in the background as they come around the Armco.
Yeah, so top four has really broken away here with Damon Hill just barely hanging on there. So he'll be looking to catch up to this group of four as well. He's been having a pretty quiet race, Damon Hill. He played some little parts in that early going battle. As we see, whoa, Senna just all over the back of Berger now. And to add on to your earlier discussion there, if there's anyone that knows Gerhard Berger the most, and even vice versa, if there's anyone that knows Ayrton Senna the most, it's these two. These two definitely know what their weaknesses and strengths are. So this is going to be most definitely a feisty battle between these two here.
Senna is running very quickly out of time in this Grand Prix to make a move. Only a handful of laps remaining, and it seems he's aware of that, and he's looking for any opening that won't cost him his car. Berger has been driving ice cold all race long with not a single foot put wrong mistake-wise, even navigating the traffic slowly, but it seems to have not made much of a difference to the Austrian driver. Schumacher slowing up a little bit. It looks like he's put all his energy into trying to chase down Berger to no success. Lacey seems very content with just defending that third, and looks like Hill is trying to have a look for something. Verstappen did have that, I believe, 6th or 7th position, but now with his car failure or some sort of erroneous mistake, he has lost that opportunity.
Benetton certainly won't be happy about that, because now it is basically guaranteed almost that Williams will close that gap in the constructors, and that's not what they want to see. And even with Schumacher only in 4th right now, definitely not looking too good at the side of Benetton. But for a team that is looking on the good side, it is Ferrari this race. Of course, as it stands right now, Berger leading from Senna at this point, and Lacey holding up the Benetton and Williams here, Schumacher and Hill respectively. So this is just allowing Berger to only focus on Senna right now, and that is some good teamwork at the Scuderia.
Does not look like Schumacher will have the chance on a Lacey, but I almost speculate that Schumacher is going to be attacked by Damon Hill very soon, because Damon Hill looks like he's starting to push, and he's gotten under the rear wing of Schumacher, so there could be a last-ditch attempt at points to steal away from Schumacher, although Hill doesn't need to risk it at this very point in time, because he has 5th. He has points secured in the first place.
Yeah, and despite the gap in points right now, if Hill pushes too much, he'll lose 2 possible points out to Schumacher here, and that will hurt his chances in the long grand scheme of things. Obviously, we still have a few more rounds to go left in this championship, so even if he can't get it done today, he should just, pace himself well, get the points he can get, and that will help him in the next couple rounds of this championship.
And it seems they're all very much aware of that. They're not really taking a large amount of risk here with their movements like they were before the safety car period. The safety car period has probably taken away a lot of potential fights, but at the same time granted a lot of opportunities, especially most beneficial to the Ferraris.
Ferrari gained a lot from that safety car, and they put it out pretty well here. And that is even being shown right now. Berger doing exactly what he did in his first stint, just doing enough to maintain the gap between himself and second place. This time it's Senna, and it's gonna be curious to see exactly how long Berger can keep this up. But if he's done it for about half the race, then I suspect that's not gonna really change at all. And I also wonder if Lacey's going to start speeding up a bit and try to attack Senna for Berger.
Indeed. Berger's certainly making a statement with his driving. He's putting down the young Schumacher and now holding off the experienced Senna, so he's definitely got plenty left in the tank when it comes to Formula One.
Yeah, Berger is going through. He was going through a bit of a drought in terms of performance and race wins until just at Germany, where he won the pole and ended up winning the race. And he had pole today, so obviously Berger not exactly slowing up in terms of performance in recent years. He still has it, but we will have to see if he can get it done today, where he's been leading most of the race.
So now we are in the closing stages of the race. Very soon we should see something from Senna, but Senna is leaving it awfully late to try anything on Gerhard Berger. If he wants to win this Grand Prix, he has to do it right now. Otherwise, Berger is going to have put on quite the masterful show, and Damon Hill has caught up quite a bit due to Alesi kind of backing off Schumacher away from getting involved in that second position, first position fight.
Well, if Senna wants to make any move, he has to make it quick, because we are now starting the final lap of the Portuguese Grand Prix. And he has a bit of a gap to bring down at this point in time. But as we see, he breaks pretty deep into the first corner here. But no real time gained there. No other threat. This is simply just a battle between Berger and Senna. Battle of the former teammates at McLaren. Battle of two great friends. And Berger has just really done a good job today, and he's not going to let Ayrton Senna win this race easily. Senna will have to do some sort of just drastic move if he wants to win this race today.
Indeed, Berger has been looking eminently dominant this entire evening, without putting a single step wrong, navigated the traffic, perfectly executed a pit strategy, came into the pits before any of the top brass did, and it paid off. The risk certainly paid off with a great outlap as we are coming up to the last couple of corners. If the cameraman would please bring us back to the embroiling battle between Senna and Berger for the win of the Portuguese Grand Prix. I'll leave it to you to take us over the line.
Yeah, Senna, he's tried hardest, but Berger, he's been on it. Senna does one last attempt, but it will not be enough. And Gerhard Berger wins the 1994 Portuguese Grand Prix in dominant fashion.
An excellent drive from Gerhard Berger, and that will certainly shake things up in the championship. And let's take a quick look at our point standings. Over to you, Nick.
Well, yep, we see Berger won the race from Senna, Alesi, Hill, and Hakkinen. Schumacher most definitely disappointed with the outcome of this race, but for my friend Jackie Sibiani and Dom Wings, I'm Nick Holiday, and this has been the Portuguese Grand Prix, and we will see you next time at the European Grand Prix in Haraf.